We will get Simon Zebo back up. After I gave him my French and everything, this is just so typical. This is just so typical. I'm not doing the French again on the far side, but we're going to take an ad break and we're getting Simon Zebo back. Oh, you're back. You're back. Oh, my God, what a mess. I said bonsoir and you weren't there.
Apologies, my fault. Sorry, the connection on my phone let me down.
That's all right. How you doing? Where are you?
I'm at home in Paris.
At home is Paris now, is it? Right, okay.
Yeah, well, at my house in Paris, sorry. Yeah. So, all good, thank you. How are you?
Very well. These are interesting times, to say the least. So I presume you guys have been kind of self-isolating in so much as you can and trying to take things easy and stay quiet and stay indoors?
Yeah. We've... We had the opportunity to go in and collect some gym equipment and watt bikes and things like that last week. So we'll be in quarantine or self-isolation for another week or two, and then they're going to reassess and see how to attack the foreseeable future. But as of now, it's very much left to our own devices. So it's very strange. But
so have you dumped the gym equipment out in the shed, or what's been the general plan?
It's actually still in the car. I'll have to get some use out of it, but you know me.
I've heard the stories.
Yeah.
So, look, it's obviously incredibly serious, incredibly worrying situation as well. The last time I checked, France, 15,000 cases, 600 dead. I saw Emmanuel Macron's TV address, and he used the phrase "this is war" several times. You know, we got to treat this as a war. What's been the atmosphere in France over the past couple of weeks? I presume very similar to everywhere, which is fear and a degree of shock about what's going on.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, people are very worried. I think there's something strange. You know, it's a weird old atmosphere around the place. People are very standoffish and not very welcoming. You know, as they should be, I suppose. But it is very, very strange times. We're not used to this at all as rugby players. Being, you know, we're usually told what to do and when to do it. So it is very strange for us. But I suppose it's just very weird. It's new to us all, you know. So we're all kind of adapting on the go.
And how are you filling the time around the house? I know you're kept busy. Your kids and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
We have plenty of activities, daily activities that we get through with the kids. You know, we have to homeschool our older two, a little bit, just arts and crafts and things like that. But it's been entertaining so far. We're about 8 or 9 days, or actually it's our 10th day of pretty much being at home. You know, so
right.
It's been fun.
A few tantrums thrown in.
Absolutely, every day.
So on the rugby front, I guess Racing are like everybody. They don't quite know when this is going to end, how this is going to end. Have the top 14 made a decision on the season? It's just postponed, I presume, at the moment.
Yeah, postponed at the moment. I've heard a few rumblings that there could potentially be a playoff in June or July. Just with the table as it stands, right. The top 6, I think, first and second will go straight into a semi-final, and then the others will play quarterfinals. So I've heard that looks like the way it's going, because speaking to Yannick Nyanga yesterday just about what time frame to expect, he said it could be next week. We could be slowly integrated back into training, maybe on a 1 day a week basis or something, or else it could be another 6 weeks of confinement. So we were uncharted waters for us.
Very much so. If we broaden this thing out and chat rugby more generally, and your career more generally, I saw you were 30 as of last week.
Yes, I was 30. Yeah.
Time waits for no man. Old man Zebo is around the corner.
Very shortly, yeah. Yeah, old man Zebo is very soon coming to me. But I feel fine. I feel fresh. Same old. It's very happy, you know. I'm very grateful to be able to reach 30 and to be in the position I am, you know. So it was a nice birthday and got to spend it with my family and kids, so it's been good.
How is the body? Have you generally avoided very serious injuries, or are you carrying a few?
No, it's okay. Well, my time here at Racing has been okay until the start of this season. I had 1 or 2 concussions, so I had to sit out a bit of time, and then after Christmas, or just before the Christmas break, I broke my foot, so that sent me out a couple of weeks as well. But other than that, I've been unscathed. But this season has been a bit stop-start. But yeah,
that's going to happen, I suppose, from time to time. Were the concussions just random freak things, or any pattern to them?
Yeah, it was completely random. One was in training, holding a tackle bag, and the other was getting an innocuous bump in a match, totally off the ball. I just ran blind and caught someone's shoulder, you know. So it was, very, very unlucky, but it happens.
So this year's stop-start, for various reasons, not least the current situation. On the whole, you're there 2 years this summer. Summer 2018, you went over. Give us a sense of life in Paris. Are you kind of in city centre? Are you in the outskirts? Has it been what you hoped the Parisian experience would be?
Yeah, it has. It's been everything I hoped for and more, to be honest with you. It's been an amazing experience, not just for me, but for my family and my children. They've loved it, which has made adapting and the whole transition that much easier. And then the rugby on the pitch is, it's been amazing. Hit the ground running last year. Playing with really classy players. It's a shift in the mindset to the way they approach the game, and it's just been refreshing. Yeah, everything about it. I have no complaints. I kind of prepared myself before I went over. I had a chat with a few of my old teammates, and we talked about potentially being 2 or 3 months into my life in Paris, and having a moment where you just say, "Oh God, what have I done?"
Yeah.
Just to be prepared for those kind of things. But they never came, and it's been day to day nothing but positivity, and just be really, really happy with my decision. Yeah, it's been fantastic so far.
How much of the language did you have when you went over?
I had a good bit. Yeah. I had a good bit. Realistically, when you're coming over with, myself and Finn Russell went the same year, and he didn't do French at all in school. You could notice the difference. I suppose I would have been fluent compared to him, but I was quite good. My dad would have given me a good base when I was younger, and my mother as well. So I'd be able to have conversations and hold my own with the coaches and things like that. But now that I've been here a bit more, it's just tweaking a few little things, but it's quite good.
The kids must be bilingual and flying.
Yeah, my fiance is actually Spanish, so they speak Spanish and English off of us, and now they're close enough to having a third language, I suppose. So it's been really, really good for them. Yeah. And
have you been on the outskirts of Paris or city centre?
Sorry, I'm about 20 minutes from the outside of Paris. Yeah, so we're in a nice little suburb, and it's about 5 minutes from our training centre, which is very handy, and about another 20 minutes the other direction to the arena. So, it's a good location, and I'm only a stone's throw away from Finn Russell, and Donica is only 5 minutes down the road. We're all kind of based in the same location, so it's really cool.
How's Donica's French?
Surprisingly enough, it's actually very good.
Right, I would have thought the accent might have been a barrier, but no, I'm stand corrected.
No, yeah, sometimes the accent might get to him a little bit, but he's actually very good. He's always first in for French class, and he always puts himself out there, in fairness to him, with speaking to the French lads and stuff. So he's actually very good. Yeah,
I've never met him, don't know him, only kind of know him through the prism of the media, which sometimes can be tricky. But he seems like a real quality person, and he's made a real impact there.
Huge impact. He's changed, I suppose, the forwards mentality. He's added a lot of grit and hard working ethic, ethic, and he's really changed it. And he's a bit of a, I suppose he's a bit of a genius with the. He'll kill me now. He's a bit of a genius at the lineouts. He's a really, really smart guy, and he showed our coaches a few things, taught them how to look at rugby in situations a different way, and he's made a huge impact. He'd probably be first name down on the team sheet every week. He's made that much of an impact. Yeah,
is that right? And the fans have probably taken to him presumably then as well.
Yeah, hugely. Yeah, he's a big fan favorite over there. He wouldn't score as many tries as he'd like, but he definitely has an impact.
So you mentioned the mindset, which is something I'm very curious about. Ian Madigan was on last week on the show. Obviously, he was at Bordeaux and then Bristol, and now he's moving back to Ulster. And he was talking about the various ways he's played rugby over the last couple of years. And obviously, it won't be a surprise for you to hear that the French was the least systematic, the least planning. You know, jouer. Just give the ball to the best player on the pitch, try and, you know, see what happens. He said there's upsides to it and there's downsides to it. Certainly, the downside is on different weeks against different defences, if it's not working, you can look very average. But when it is working, obviously, there's a real joy in it. Now, you guys, when you're humming at La Défense and the crowd are up for it and it's really working, it looks like an absolute joy to play in. If you had to explain the mindset, like what is the plan going out? How systematic is it? How does it work at Racing?
It wouldn't be as, I suppose, jouer as you think. You know, there's actually quite a good bit of detail that we do put into our weeks and leading into games. Now, we might come across that way just with the amount of attacking talent we have on the pitch at one time, and all our forwards are capable of offloading, and nobody discourages that. So, you know, we might go through a 10 or 15 minute patch in a game and it might just be an absolute free for all. But generally in the greater scope or the greater scheme of things, there's actually quite a lot of detail gone into our set piece moves and our systems around where to attack teams and our defence in particular. So it's, I suppose it's probably individualised to which club you choose or which club you play for. Might have been different for Mads in Bordeaux. They might have been totally off the cuff, but for us, I think there will be a little bit more structure than you might expect. Right. So it's good. Yeah.
A nice blend, maybe.
Yeah. In my eyes, it's the perfect balance. Yeah, right. Perfect balance.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, it's not one way or the other. It's a really good mix. Yeah.
I'm not, by the way, I stress, lining you up here to have a dig at Joe Schmidt. That is not the point. Because
okay.
Yeah, but. Do we, when you look at Irish rugby, and so not just Joe Schmidt rugby, but Irish rugby from afar, I guess sometimes when you go abroad and you spend time elsewhere, you see the game maybe in different ways. Are we too systematic, or maybe just by dint of the fact that we don't have all the talent that's in France, maybe being systematic is our only way to almost beat teams with superior talent at their disposal? What's your view on where Irish rugby is at the moment and how we tend to approach it at provincial and international level?
I think it depends. I don't think we're too systematic. Obviously, it's different to what I'm experiencing right now at the moment, and I can only speak for coaches I've played under when I've been with Ireland. But it's very different to what we're playing. And I suppose when I was playing with Ireland, the player profiles we have and had. The game plan probably suited us a bit more than a certain way we're playing now, you know. So we were very successful in recent years with Ireland, and you know, you don't just after one or two bad results go running away from it. So I won't knock the way Ireland play or the provinces play at all. It's winning rugby and it's very effective. But obviously, my game would suit a different mindset, I suppose, or outlook on it. But it is what it is. And I hope we continue to improve as an Irish setup as a whole, you know. And I suppose the World Cup probably would have they would have had a few learnings from that, you know, on being able to mix it a bit more, especially against a couple of weaker sides. You know, you would have liked to see them test themselves a little bit more, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I guess it was successful for a very long time, so it's tricky to change it. What about the top 14 as a league? I had expected you to have played a huge number more minutes in France, you know, just based on the Sexton experience over there, where he seemed to be playing a huge amount of rugby from memory. And I just had a look at the stats, and actually, if we take last year as the best example, your kind of first year with Racing, it's not like you clocked up a huge number of extra minutes for Racing than you had for Munster the previous year. Is the French league like a very demanding beast, you know, week in, week out? You guys seem to have a big enough squad there to protect you from that.
That's the thing. I think, yeah, we have a big enough squad, and we have a number of players who can play in fullback as well. You know, you've Brice Doolan and Louis Dupichot and one or two others who can put the boots on and go in fullback. So it's been really good. You know, I haven't been flogged or anything like that. And times have changed a lot since Johnny was there. You know, he's probably wheeled out a bit more than he would have liked to. And he, you know, he puts his body on the line all the time. You know, so his age as well, he would have had a good few miles on the clock, so he probably would have needed a little bit more rest. But yeah, I've had a really good blend of rest and play, and I feel fresh and really good and ready to go. And the coaches, I probably had more rest time playing in France than I have ever playing in Ireland. You know, feels that way anyway.
It's obviously it's a multicultural dressing room. I guess a lot of French players clearly. How does that compare to a Munster dressing room in terms of atmosphere, or you know, the way it works, the way it functions?
I'd say it functions just as well. The players get on really, really well here. There's a really good blend, as you said, of internationals. It's a very international change room, but you know, all the French lads speak quite good English. But that's not to say the English-speaking lads wouldn't make an effort. You know, there's a really good blend, and we're constantly having activities, having fellas over. Like, you know, we do social nights, depending on what position you play. Like the back three might have to organise one, or the back five, fly halves, etc. So we're constantly doing things together. And Paris is a big city. Obviously, it would be quite easy to get lost and not have that strength in the change room. But we have a really good blend. But Munster would be very, very different. I suppose you would have been really, really tight with the guys around you, either side of you, and the atmosphere would be a lot different. It's a lot harsher, I suppose, in Ireland. The slagging and the slagging can be relentless in Ireland, you know, and the French lads would not be able for it. They were very sensitive. So yeah, it's a bit different, but same all the less.
Yeah, the bonds are still there, and you know, like there's certain cliches about the French. For instance, let's go for the greatest of all, which is they don't like to travel. Have you sensed that? Have you seen that? Is there like sometimes a sense of, oh, we're away from home today, so you know?
Yeah, no, not at all. That's the funny thing. And as I said, it's different at each club, but we're racing, like the boys were licking their lips going to Thomond Park. You know, there was a real, like, I didn't feel like I was in a French dressing room, because I've been on the other side and obviously playing for Munster for years, you know, and that's something that we would have said as well. But when you're in the other change room, it's funny, because it's quite the opposite where we are right now. And it's a bit frustrating for us as well, because the quarterfinal was postponed too, because normally if we were going away to Claremont, I suppose my mindset growing up would have been like, oh crap, we're in for you know, give it our best shot, and you never know what could happen. It was just a slight change playing with these boys. You know, the Claremont lads wouldn't have a fantastic reputation in France for knockout rugby, so all the lads were licking their lips at the thought of going to the Stade Marcel Michelin, you know, fully believing that we were going to win, you know. So it's just a little bit different, but yeah, very interesting.
Are you getting full houses at a lot of these games? Is this a huge deal on French TV? Does it feel like you're playing in almost like the big time, as opposed to, and I say this with the greatest respect, you know, lots of Pro 14 games just don't really capture the imagination?
Yeah, completely. No, the top 14 definitely means a lot. You can tell, you know, one or two losses in the top 14 and you feel the pressure, you feel, you know, presidents, coaches, outside noise, you know, it means so much to them. You know, like you travel to Brive on a Saturday, and you might think it's a lesser fixture in the schedule, and then they have 20,000 people rock up to a game, and it's everything for them to try and get points, to not get relegated. And you can see the scale of each match means a lot more. It's really, really exciting league. You know, after every game, the lads will be looking at the table and seeing who's beaten who's jumped up, who's got bonus points, etc., etc. So you can tell it really means a lot. So it would be a little bit different, all right.
On missing Ireland, which is a huge sacrifice and one you probably suspected you were making when you went, 2018, that's a tough year to be on the sidelines. Did you have, because you said earlier you never had that moment 3-4 months into your time in Paris where you thought this isn't quite working out the way I'd hoped, you know, you seem to be enjoying it. But equally, you know, the All Blacks game or across the Grand Slam, that magical year, how tough was that to take, or was it something you were able to digest and move on from pretty quickly?
Oh, I was able to. I didn't even have to digest it, to be honest.
Right.
It was my family who were probably more upset, you know, that I wasn't involved or whatever. I was fine. I was completely fine. You could ask the lads.
So I don't understand. I don't understand that. On St. Patrick's Day or on the night they beat the All Blacks in November. So this glorious peak year, or the Australian tour in 2018. I don't understand how on those days you are just like pillow on your head in bed. I don't want to hear it, don't want to see it, don't want to think about it.
That's just not my mindset. It's not how every day I wake up, I'm happy. Like, you know, there's no ounce of negativity in my life. I don't bring it in. You know, I just refuse to let myself get bogged down over anything. So if I'm not picked for a team, I'm not going to cry about it or, you know, be afraid to watch the match. I look at it in a different point of view, in a different light, and I'll say, okay, this is great. How many friends do I have playing? How exciting is this? This is my country at the end of the day. So if they win, I win. You know, that's what it's all about. I'm not. Obviously, I'd love to play. You know, I'd love to lace up my boots and go out there and play, and that'll be the same when I'm 50 years of age. But when I wasn't involved and they were winning, I was genuinely happy for my friends that were playing. And obviously, I had an exciting chapter in my career that was just around the corner, so it wasn't something I would dwell over at all.
Amazing. You're a better person than I am. You say I refuse to let negativity in. So you're still a human being. You're going to have those thoughts. So what? You just block them out. Don't let yourself ruminate on them almost.
Yeah. Like, it'll just go in one ear out the other. It's probably to my downfall as well. My fiance always gives out to me. She's like, Simon, stop saying you'll do things tomorrow, or stop saying yeah. You know, I just, unless it's positive news or something, I don't want to hear it. You know, life's too short for that. So.
Hey, listen, well, I can get on board with that at the moment. Have you played most of your rugby on the wing or full back, or a mixture over there?
Over here, definitely full back.
Full back.
Yeah, I've played a couple of games on the wing when needed, but predominantly full back. Yeah.
Okay. And have you developed as a player? Are there things you're better at before you went, or is it all pretty similar? Like how have you changed as a player for people who aren't seeing you week in, week out, or maybe you haven't at all?
I don't think so. Not too much. I'm just playing around different style of players, so getting used to reading off other players like Finn and Virmi and running. I still run the same lines I run. I still try things I normally do. It's just try and do it with different personnel. That would be the main thing. And you've real. I suspect it's off the pitch too, from what I can see. But you've real chemistry on the pitch with Russell. Yeah, we do.
Because some players who play with him don't know what he's going to do next.
Yeah, true. Yeah, he's a bit of a maverick, but that's the way I try to play too. You know, I say to Finn, they can't know how they're going to defend you when you don't know what you're going to do yourself. You know, so that's the way we like to play, and we bounce off each other on the pitch. I'd notice anyway that he'd be looking for me. You know, a friendly voice as well always helps. That he gets a few comms in English at times, and he's very, very open-minded. You know, that we, as I said, we bounce off each other. But you know, I whisper to him on the pitch, you know, and I know it goes in and it stays. You know, and if I say chip over the top, I know as soon as the ball touches his hands, he's going to do it. You know, there's that trust there as well. So
yes,
because it's really, really good.
Yeah, that's amazing. Like, that's a joy to play with, because he could easily think, well, you know, Zebo, he'll just want, you know, chip over the top every time. I'm not going to look foolish and do it. So there's as you said, trust that he's going to think to himself, look, Simon has weighed up the options here. He can see it's on. I can sort of see it's on. We're in this together, kind of thing, and not worrying if his chip doesn't come off and it looks like it's his mistake.
Yeah, completely. He has unbelievable trust. Like in the Munster game in Thomond Park, before Juan Imhoff scored, myself and himself were just having like, as the play was going on, we were just having a little conversation, and I was like, he's how would I say the word? I was in a more polite way. I was saying he's in trouble, if you want.
Yeah.
And like it was almost just like a general conversation. 26,000 people going crazy, screaming, noise. And I was like, he's in trouble right in front of you. And he's like, where? And right in front. And then next play, he just catches the ball, steps off his right, goes through the gap, and we score a try. And it's just that kind of trust. I think Jeremy Loughlin had an injury on his leg. He was hobbling quite badly, so he was like, it was pretty easy, for us to see that one. But when we did, it's just a little highlight of our combination is really strong, both off the pitch and on the pitch. Yeah, so it's good.
Yeah, that's kind of magic when you're working that much in sync with somebody. Yeah, and Vakatawa at times is literally like unplayable. Like you just, I don't know what you're meant to do when he's coming at you and he's in the mood.
Yeah. Oh yeah, completely. I was joking with a few of my old teammates before we played them. Just like watch out for this fella come Saturday, because the form he's in this season, especially after the World Cup, the real confidence he had, he's undefendable. For me, he was the best player in the world, and probably still is. For a 6-month spell, every time he touched the ball, he was making a line break or setting somebody else up. His distribution is another level. His defense is incredible, and his decision-making, footwork, everything. He has the whole package, and when he's on form, you can't stop him. It's just end of story. Yeah.
The La Défense looks amazing. I saw after one of the European games they turn it into a nightclub after full time, so I can only presume you're back out there. But is playing on the do you train on grass? Like, are you always on the synthetic surface? I'm sure that's tough enough on the joints, or is it okay?
No, it's actually okay. At our training facility, we have we have 4G pitch, which is the same type of surface as in the arena, so it's like a carbon copy. And then we have a hybrid grass surface as well. And there's a third pitch then, I think, which is just normal grass. But it just depending on whatever surface we're playing on the week, we train on during the week. So it wouldn't be all normal grass, or it wouldn't be all 4G. We're quite lucky in that we have a couple of pitches that cater our needs.
Yeah. How is S&C there different to what you might be doing at Munster? Like in terms of weights, in terms of focus, in terms of diet, all that kind of stuff. Is it very, very similar? Like, is S&C just this universal thing across the countries now, or do you have a different approach over there?
It would be different, a little bit different. Like the weight sessions would be still quite intense and everything. We do quite a lot of speed work, but the season is huge. It's such a beast.
Yeah, it's a beast.
Oh, it's an incredible season. So you can't be flogged in a gym session or in pre-season, even for that matter, the way you would back home. The fixtures are completely different. The caliber of players completely different. So you wouldn't be left to your own devices at all. You'd be given a gym program, and it can be as intense as you want or as chilled as you want. Like sometimes Finn can be on his phone or whatever and doing a leg press, and you'll be looking like, okay, that's completely taken the mick now. But,
I'd say glass houses there, to be honest. Yeah. But go on.
No, I'd be dancing. That's the worst thing I do. But yeah, it is a little bit more lax. You'd notice around the S&C department and the whole S&C department with regards to gym and how precise the training sessions would be with regards to minutes and meters run, etc. But it's just a totally different beast when you look at the top 14 as a whole, and Champions Cup on top of that, because we're always competing in both. So
yeah, it's incredibly demanding, especially for smaller squads. So what does the future hold? How long have you left on your contract there?
I actually don't know. We'll see what happens. Potentially stay. I could potentially stay till I hang up the boots. I don't want to play till I'm 36, 37. I have no interest in that. I want to play. All going well to 33, 34 would be nice for me.
Why not play for as long as you possibly could?
It's physically demanding, and it's pre-seasons don't get any easier. It's harder to motivate yourself for gym sessions. That's just being honest,
Yeah.
It's
So you still love the playing, I'm sure, but it's the infrastructure around it.
Yeah, I love to play. That's it. Yeah, if I could just get paid to play on a Saturday every week, then I'd be happy. But yeah, it's not the way it is. So I'm incredibly motivated now to win trophies with this Racing team, because we have such a good squad, at so many key players at the peak of their powers, and we genuinely don't feel there's nobody we can't beat. Whether it's going away to Munster or going away to Saracens, it doesn't really matter. So it's very exciting now at the moment, the Racing, and I'm really happy to be here. But obviously, as I said, I do miss home, and I'll never not have a love for Munster, So there'll only be one club I go back to.
When's your contract up?
I signed a 2+1, so I've the third year as well, potentially.
Okay.
So we'll have to see.
And do you decide that, or did they decide that?
I think, me.
Okay, so you've the option for a third year if you wanted.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see. Stop looking at me like that.
I'm just because there must be the lure of finishing, one last year at Thomond and maybe even 2023 World Cup. If you're talking about playing till that age, that must be vaguely in the conversation or in the horizon.
Yeah, it would. Going back to playing Thomond Park would be special. All right, I'd never. Say it wouldn't be. It would be incredible to go back. I would really love to do it, but sometimes you don't get played the cards you always want to. So we'll have to see. But I genuinely love life in Paris. I could not be happier day to day, and my family as well. So there will be a lot going into the next decision on where to play my rugby. So we'll have to see. But obviously the World Cup is there, but I'd probably be way too old, so that wouldn't hold much weight. So it'd just be either home or Paris.
We'll be on the radio here saying Zebo's legs have gone. I can't believe he's in the World Cup squad. That'll be the conversation. Have you spoken with Andy Farrell? I know you kind of know him through obviously Lions tours as well as the Irish setup.
No, I haven't. I haven't spoken to him. No. So he, I'd imagine he'd probably, in the positions he's in, he's just into the job, and he's not going to start making phone calls all over the place. So I completely understand. But me and Andy have a very good relationship, so that will remain the same regardless of whether he picks me up to come play rugby for Ireland or not.
Okay. Well, listen, thanks so much for making time for us. Keep safe, and hopefully the next couple of months aren't as scary as we all fear they might be, and we might talk to you down the line when the season's back up and running maybe. Simon Zebo, thanks so much. Appreciate your time.
Thanks very much, Joe. I appreciate you as always.
Cheers. Thanks a mil. Simon Zebo there, live from Paris this evening, and that was Monday Night Rugby with thanks to Vodafone. Team of us, everyone in.
Monday Night Rugby on Off the Ball.
With Vodafone, official sponsors of the Irish rugby team. Team of us, everyone in.
Moncrief.
Patrick says, I wish the media would stop using the term lockdown to describe a quarantine. A quarantine is isolation imposed on persons or